Good afternoon, everybody. It's Roger from PRW Chassis Performance Center Racing Warehouse. My wife, Kristen.
Hi.
Hope you guys had a great weekend. Just going to introduce Boo Boo Dalton. He's been a long-time customer, great guy, great friend, done a lot for me. Appreciate everything you guys are doing. Shop super busy again, multiple clips, multiple cars. I think we're 6 deep right now. Really happy for everything that's happening. Can't thank you guys enough. Hope you guys like this matchup with Boo Boo, my wife.
Have a good weekend.
She's way better looking than me. I thought you guys would like to see it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, welcome back to another episode of The Grind. We got Boo Boo Dalton here today. Super pumped to have him here. Just raced a car through a race at Greenville this weekend. We're going to get his thoughts on that, his thoughts on doing a few different things, bumping back and forth between limited and late model, racing kind of all over the country, not just sitting at one place. And thanks for coming in, man.
Hey, man. Glad to be here.
Got him to come out. Let his dad let him off for a little bit, and we sucked up the time, and we're trying to go at it a little. It's good.
Yep.
Glad to have you.
Glad
to have you
Glad
here.
to be here. Glad to be here.
Tell us, when you kind of run a family-run operation for the people that don't know you, and you guys do with what you can and do more with what you can't, I guess, to say that. And you went and ran the cars for a race this weekend, ran fairly decent, got in a little altercation with Taylor Satterfield there. But get into it. How big was that? That's probably the biggest race you did this year, for sure, anyway, right?
Yeah, it's almost, in all reality, that's the most money we've ever ran for. I would consider Martinsville a little bigger.
Sure,
But,
me too.
Definitely by far the second biggest race I've ever even tried to be a part of. So to just, at the end of the day, everybody got to race, but we made it in by the last chance race and won it, and we qualified 13th. So to qualify 13th out of them guys, we was really happy with that. I felt like that's where we were supposed to be. That's what my goal was to be in the top 15 all weekend, and I feel like if we wouldn't have got wrecked out right there pretty early on, halfway, I feel like we could have accomplished our goal, been top 15 at the end of the show.
That's awesome. How much did you have to change from like what you normally change, to race? How much bigger of a step was that than what you had anticipated, or was it smaller than what you had anticipated?
No, it was way more. That's the most set of tires I've ever bought in my entire life.
Yeah, how many sets did you use?
Especially for one race. We got 4 sets of practice tires, and then a set for qualifying day, and then a set for qualifying, and then qualifying and a set for the race day, and then we have 2 brand new ones that we didn't get to put on. So right at 6.5 sets of tires.
Wow.
So, that's all we'll ever try to use in the whole year.
That's it, right?
So yeah, it was big, man. It was really big. We actually, my motor guys, they helped us out. We found a really good deal on the engine, and we've been wanting to get an enforcer, and we've just been putting it off, trying not to spend the money. And when a deal come about that we could get a good deal on one, we got it, and went the week before that to Greenville and ran the limited deal, and we felt comfortable enough to go back, and I'm glad that we went. I had a lot of fun.
So that was your first time really racing with the enforcer motor?
Oh yeah.
What did you think?
Especially full-fledged late model like that. I've never. I ran it with the 450 on it, but it wasn't no different than anything else with a 450 on it. It was a turd. So,
you're right.
Once we strapped that 650 on here, it was
game on.
It was game on. There was plenty there to have.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit more about your. Everybody sees you race, right? So I don't like to go to everybody else when I like to go the other way. Small family-run business, right? Like
Yep.
Your dad, your mom, everybody works at the same place, and We try to do all the things that we can do as far as thank you. Perfect. We try to do all the things that we can do as far as you get sponsorship or you try to rely on local people to help you and that's kind of just the way, as your dad tells me, that's just the way we've raced.
Yep, it is. I mean, it really is. I mean, we have our little automotive repair shop there in Greensboro, and I mean, we bust our butt there Monday through Friday, and what we can get through there to race on, that's what we do after we pay the bills. So, I mean, it takes a lot to race, as anybody knows, but thankfully I've got a lot of good backing. I've got my sign guy, roof signs. They don't charge me a dime to put the decals on that thing, so it stays looking pretty sharp all year long. I mean, there's just so many people.
A lot of people that help you.
Dude, there's so many people.
And that's awesome, right? That's what it's about.
I mean, that's the only way last weekend happened. My father-in-law and mother-in-law and the guy right in front of us, he owns an automotive repair shop as well, and they just so happened that when me and my wife got married, the families knew each other.
Awesome.
So, like, one of our competitors that literally is right in front of us
Became an ally.
became a sponsor.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, it's a little town. We're from Liberty, North Carolina, and I mean, got 3 stoplights. If you blink, you've missed it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just small town and a lot of locals that enjoy helping, and I really do appreciate it.
What does Boo Boo do in his off time, right? Like, I know you work on your race cars, and I know you don't have a ton of off time, but I know your family's got, into horses and into doing a few different things, and right, you got a place up in Love Valley that you like to go to a little bit. Tell us a little bit about that side of Boo Boo Dalton. A lot of people don't get to see, I don't think.
Man, if we're not racing real race cars, man, we try to spend as much time with the family as we can. We're a tight-knit family, and we love being around each other. I've got 3 nephews and a niece, and all of them race go-karts. So most of the time, if I'm not at a race car track, I'm either at a go-kart track helping them or hanging out with them or helping them on their go-karts or whatever. And outside of that, during the week, if we're not working on the race car, I've got 2 little nephews, one's 6 and one's 12, and we go race RC cars all the time. So, I mean, we if it's got anything to do with racing, we'll race it. But we love racing our RC cars and just anything to do with racing, like I said. I mean, it's just, like I said, tight-knit family.
Family deal, right?
Yep. Without
sisters,
the family,
everybody's in it.
Yep. Everybody. I mean, that's like I told the guys at Windshield Deep, if there's anybody that's got anything to do with my race car, other than my rear end and transmission guy, he's the only person that I didn't see at that racetrack that didn't have something to do with my race car. It was you, Rayvon Clark, Lug Nut with Wesley Page, and then all my sponsors. My roof signs guy was there, my family. There wasn't anybody there that don't have anything to do with that race car. Everybody was there.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
That's a good time, right? That's
was.
what it's supposed to be about, I think, at the end of the day. Tell us how the nickname Boo Boo came about, right? Like, I've had a bunch of people ask me about it, and I don't actually know the story myself, so let's find out. Let's dive into it.
So tomorrow is actually my birthday.
Well, happy
October the
birthday,
28th.
right here. Yes.
So
Perfect.
I was born right here at Halloween, and when I was released on Halloween, and I was released with a little toboggan on it that said Boo on it, and my mom called me her little Boo.
That's awesome, dude.
And so my nickname was Boo forever. And then when I got old enough to ride around on a bicycle and a little Power Wheels at the go-kart track when Dad was racing go-karts back in the Nationals and all that stuff, I always had scabs and rings and bruises and everything.
Boo-boos,
and
yeah.
it changed from Boo to Boo Boo, and everybody at the racetrack knew me as Boo Boo. It stuck, and here I am.
That's awesome. That's a great story. Tell us about your
pretty
dad.
cool.
Your dad racing go-karts, right? Like, I know your dad's been. You and I have talked off the record probably more than we should, and and I know your dad has been such a positive influence in your life, and kind of your guy that's always been there no matter what you're racing, and sometimes you're frustrated, and sometimes he's frustrated, but you guys work at it together, and
Oh yeah, and it goes back to go-karts.
for sure, right? Like, he was the man in the go-kart deal,
Yeah,
huh? I think a lot of people don't know that.
He was pretty good back in his day. I mean, won just about everything there is to win in go-karts. And
But as a builder too, didn't he build a bunch?
he started, I don't know when he started, but I know in '07 he sold the business. And he built go-karts for quite some time and had a lot of success and had quite a few good guys that rode for him, and they won quite a few big races and stuff. And so growing up, I never rode anything other than what my dad's go-kart was. It was called an Undertaker. And that's where we started. And I mean, he put me on a go-kart when I was 4. So from 4 to now, tomorrow I'll be 26. So for 22 years right there, I mean, we've done nothing but communicate every chance we get. Like, I mean, people on the outside looking in probably look at the way that we talk to each other really weird because, I mean, it's just our way of talking. I
Right,
mean, and
for
then
sure.
he knows, like, majority of the time I don't even have to talk to him. Like, he's smart enough, he knows how I drive, that he can sit there and watch the race car, and before I even say anything, he's like, I'm going to do this and this and this. Do you feel like that's right? I'm like, majority of the time, like 100%.
For
Absolutely. So,
You're the man, dude. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so appreciative for you to take the time to drive all the distance to come over and sit
I
down with
love
us
it,
a
man.
little bit. What advice you give young people? You know, there's a lot of young people that are trying to test the waters right now, and they're coming through quarter midgets and through legend cars and through
Yeah.
go-karts, and they're all coming through these things, and some of them have a couple bucks and some of them don't have a couple bucks. So
Right.
like, what advice do you give to that guy? You know how your journey kind of was, and you know the obstacles that you still fight, right? Like as
Oh,
far
yeah.
as money and motors and cars and all those things. What advice do you give them, the younger person, the 13 to 14-year-old? I remember you guys going and buying cars from Bassett's at the racetrack.
Yeah.
I just remember Ronnie Bassett telling me one time, he's like, well, we sold this one, you got to build me another one. And I said, what do you mean? He's like, I said, you just won a championship. He's like, nope. The Daltons just bought it. I think motor and everything,
Yeah,
right?
we
He
bought it.
pulled the seat out, I think, and then
They
that was
pulled
the
the
end of the
seat out
game.
and we loaded
Took it
up
from
and
A
took it
Speedway,
home.
right? Yep.
Right after he
I'm showing how old I
championship
am. Yeah, that was probably 8 or 10 years ago, maybe,
That
or something.
was 2011.
There you go. So, you know, how do you advise those younger people now? What kind of, being into it so much further, or 9, 10 years post 2011? Where do you go? Where do you tell them?
Just be patient. Like, just be patient. It's hard. This is the hardest sport that you will ever be a part of. Um, it'll punch you when you're down and it'll hug you when you're up. But I'm telling you, just be patient and just keep fighting and hold on to what you got. If you've got something that works, just continue to use it. Don't go changing nothing. So, I mean, that's been our strategy anyhow. We've just steadily went on with it. I mean, I'm not gonna say I've got no NASCAR crew chief because he's not, but my dad. I mean, a lot of people, if they looked at the way he set my race car up, they'd be like, "Whoa, that's way wrong." But
Right.
it worked for us. So
That's it.
just like I said, just be patient. Let it come to you. I'm still being patient. I'm hoping for something a little better than what I've got right now, and I'm tickled to death with what I have. And if nothing was to ever change, then like I said, I'm happy right where I'm at.
It's a lot of hard work.
It
I
is.
think
It
people
is a
don't-
lot of hard work, and people ask me all the time, like, when you gonna move up to late model? When you gonna move up to late model? When you gonna make the jump? I mean, I'm full-fledged limited late model team. I've got a limited crew. I don't pay them a dime. I buy their food at Waffle House when we're done racing. So I mean, that's all they could get. We stay in a fairly nice motel when we go out somewhere, and we'll just spend time together. That's their pay. So, you know, tires, motors, and all that stuff. Up until this year, I mean, honestly, up until this year, I bought a built motor and an enforcer. Up until this year, I've ran 603s and 604s. Never ran a built motor of any sort. It's always been crate motor racing. So, I've had a big learning season this year, just learning gearing and stuff. Like, people
Sure.
call me and ask me for a gear at whatever racetrack that we've been to, and I can remember it off the top of my head. This year,
Different game.
different game, like completely different game. Like, it's just been tire wear, car setup, everything's different. It's not the same, and so I mean, just gotta. That's why we did it too. It's like we wanted to make an adjustment. We wanted to make a leap. We wanted because I feel like this enforcer deal is the right thing.
I do
Like
too.
I feel like that is a good engine, money wise, longevity wise. Like it'll last. And I feel like as long as nobody goes messing with it or nothing like that, like I feel like it'll be a good thing for quite a while. And it has been so far.
Sure.
And so that's why we went ahead and got us one and made the leap. And I want to run some late model stuff here and there when we can afford it. And I've got a few things working right now. I've got a guy that's wanting to run my backup car in the Charger division at Dillon next year. And I mean, I've tossed around a few things of what I want to do next year. And I mean, I was talking to Jason Turner yesterday about the Rodney Cook race, and I mean, it kind of hit me like no more than what it would cost. Like in all reality, I could run for late model championship at Ace next year on Friday nights and still have my Saturdays to take him racing and do some things on Saturdays. So, I
I'm
mean,
sure
I haven't.
Turner would love that, right? You had a
Yeah,
pretty big following back there.
yeah,
You raced there
yeah,
for a long time.
yeah. I have, and it's close to home. It's not that far. It wouldn't be that expensive. I feel like I could get some pretty good sponsorship from the surrounding area since I'm a local there, and you know, and that's like I said, there's nothing set in stone. So I mean, I could do anything I wanted to do at this point still, but you know, it's just I'm thinking outside of the box right now. I want to do some stuff a little different, and I mean, I've traveled everywhere here these last couple of years, so if we could settle down just a little bit and maybe have 4 or 5 tracks to go to primarily instead of 12, 13 a year, like that'd kind of slow down and be a little better on us.
What have you found your best way? You know, we all know that this sport really and truly comes down to money. We can slice it up as many ways as we want to, but there's some talent involved, right?
Yeah, oh
There's
yeah.
some talent. I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but um, money gives you the ability to develop that talent even further and further. But you've you know you've been a 9-year, 10-year success of this product of late model stock car racing or limited late model racing. And how have you generated capital? You know, there's a lot of people that they just don't even know the first way to go about trying to make get a tire sponsor for the week or trying to get somebody to help us with our hotel rooms. You know, what advice do you give to them, to the younger person that is a legend car racer right now, maybe, and you know, mom or dad is helping out, doing what they can, and they're thinking about making that jump up to limited late model, and you know, how have you cultivated the most amount of your funds? What are the things that you've done that you found success in?
Just staying honest, honestly. Um, just being consistent with who you're with and where you're at and who's around you. I mean, my mom told me a long time ago whenever I first started going out by myself and stuff, pay attention to your surroundings. You never know who's watching.
That's it.
And so, I mean, that stuck with me, and I've carried that a long ways in life. And I try to treat everybody good. I mean, I've had some bad
Yeah,
tempers
me too. Sure.
and had some issues here and there, but you know that's part of racing, and you know just staying consistent, just being thankful for no matter if they, and that's why every time I post anything or ask for anything, I always put anything helps because I'm not saying if you handed me $1,000 and Joe over here handed me 100, I am a little more thankful to you than I am him. But in
I
all
understand.
reality,
It all helps.
it all helps,
Yes,
and
sir.
that's why I put anything helps on anything that I do, and because I'll take anything. It don't matter to me. That race car is big. I can put a sticker anywhere, and I love stickers. So
Yeah, I'd like to watch it. And you and I have talked about it a lot. You guys were talking about it a little bit off camera before we went into it, but I really enjoyed watching you at Bowman Gray Stadium.
yeah,
I got to see you come in here for bumper bars and stuff quite often.
yeah.
But with them not having racing this year, have you rethought that? Maybe next year reasserting at Bowman Gray, or what do your 2021 plans look like?
Well, right now I've got a straight rail car that I bought. Um, over the off season last year, and we worked on getting it put together, and we got it together. We ran a few of the Carolina Pro late model deals, and we found some things that needed to be changed on it and here and there. And it's an older car, but I feel like that when we do go back to Bowman Gray, that it'll be that much better for us there. Um, so yeah, we're definitely going to go back. I've actually purchased a car to take over there and
Yeah,
and
to
be,
Bowman Gray.
yep. So it's 100% my stadium car, and that gave me my secondary late model car back. So we've changed it into a Charger car. This Charger division come back around, and I don't know, kind of getting off topic here, but
That's your
Charger
show. We're not off topic. We talk about anything you want to.
Charger racing now is what I started with in '09. When I started limited late model racing in 2009, it was non-adjustable shocks, 4 scuff tires, an older chassis. Like, it wasn't top-notch stuff. Limited late model now is late model with a small carburetor.
Sure.
It ain't. It's not limited late model like it was in '09.
Not a different package.
Charger has brought back what limited late model used to be, so I've got this older car that didn't perform like it needed to.
Sure.
With the new style limited late model package, and we've got us some shocks and went and tested and ran it a handful of times, and we've got a really good Charger car. So I've got my stadium car, my Charger car, and then my primary car, which I take everywhere. So we got 3 cars now, and my schedule next year is I'm gonna run the stadium a handful of times, and then I've got that Charger car rented out for a guy to run for the championship at Dillon, and then me, whatever I decide to do. So more than likely I'll bounce around everywhere like I always do, but you know, never know. I might settle down somewhere.
Got them nephews that want to race go-karts
That's
a little
right.
bit. That's a good time,
Well,
right?
and that's kind of why I put the Charger car together. Is, I mean, I've got a 16-year-old nephew that wants to run some, and my 12-year-old's coming, and then I got a 6-year-old nephew. So I mean, I've got 3 nephews that they love going to the racetrack. They love racing. I mean, they eat, sleep, breathe it. So I mean, you know, I feel like eventually I'll be able to get one of them in it, and then once time comes, I can use that car to continue to let them grow up and have a race car to test in and get used to things.
If people want to help Boo Boo Dalton, what's the best way? Reach out to you on social, hit you with an email, hit your phone number. What's the best way?
I've actually got a personal Facebook page. My racing Facebook page, we really don't do that much with it. It kind of fell through the cracks. It was pretty busy back in the day when I was racing at Ace a lot, but now that we travel a lot, my mom's in charge of it, and she don't pay that much attention to it. That's because we don't really have that much of a following, because we go everywhere instead of just one place. But I have a personal Facebook, and it's Ross Dalton, and just send me a friend request and shoot me a message, and I'll be sure to get back to you.
Tell us about the mullet.
The mullet.
Love the mullet, dude.
This is like 2 years in progress here, and I was telling the boys with the windshield deep, man.
I love the mullet.
It's getting thin up top, though.
I understand. I have no hair on top, so that's why I can't do any. I just keep hiring guys with hair,
It's
so I
getting
feel
thin
better.
up top, but yeah, it's still long and curly in the back. So
That's it. Party in the back. for
it all
sure.
Rayvon Clark inspired me.
Rayvon is the man.
Rayvon
We
has
talked
got
a good
the
bit this
best
weekend,
mullet
yeah, for
ever.
sure.
So Rayvon
Timeless.
Clark inspired me.
Timeless.
Yeah.
Rayvon's timeless.
He's the man, that's for sure.
I'm super glad we got you to stop by and chit-chat a little bit about it. I want to keep trying to bring you guys quality info. I'll keep trying to hang these guys when they come in. And drop us any questions you might have down in the comments, and we'll do our best to get Boo Boo to maybe answer a few of them. Thanks for checking in. Let us know what you want to see. If you see Boo Boo out in the wild, make sure you give him a hey, tell him what's up, run over to his social, give him a like or a follow, see what he's doing. If you can help him out in any way, I'm sure he'd be more than glad to bring a few new sponsors on board. And
Absolutely.
we got the guys in the back. They help work on the audio tuning with all the grinding and craziness. So we want to give you a real life experience of what's happening here at Performance Center. So it looks like they're clipping one, and they got a couple others that they're grinding on till they're dust. But we'll see what happens. And I appreciate each and every one of you watching these shows and letting us know what you think. And letting us know things you'd like to see, and we'll just keep trying to bring them the best stuff that we can to you. Super busy in here again. We're up to 6 cars pre-ordered, and we're going we're going as fast as you can. I'm appreciative for all the work, but subscribe, follow if we can give you any more value, and check back with us. I appreciate it.